Hello everybody, welcome back to some Fallout 4. As you can probably guess immediately, I never finished building my vault. But I figured I'd show you the little bit that I did and explain why I gave up on it when I did. So one of the first reasons now I will say no major reason that I gave up on it, just multiple little ones. First and foremost, building my railing here on my second level, you might see how this is, right? You know, it has a hole right in the corner, right? Because I got a railing there and a railing there. It doesn't work, right? Well, let's get rid of those. Go into the railings and stairs. Go over to the railings, and you will see right here a railing. Look, it is a corner railing. It doesn't have a rounded piece on either end, and it would fit perfectly right there. Now, here's the problem. It doesn't. It just doesn't snap there for some reason. It'll snap to a floor piece, but the actual floor pieces that are attached to here, it won't. It refuses for some reason. Now, on top of that, we have... no, it wasn't this tunnel. Hang on. Here it is. We have this section. Now, as you can see, I made it so that you come here, you open the door, and then this leads you into the tunnel that goes down, and if you recall, into where the water purifier was. Now, I explained this while we were clearing out this section, but this slope here is at a different grade than anything you can build. And then not to mention, because of where it's positioned, because, once again, they expected you to build everything off of that doorway. You can't change anything past that doorway. That doorway is the connection point that this entire DLC is based off of. So, in here, I built a wide hallway, but the door needs to be here. Now, as you can see, that door lines up with the middle of the floors. So putting a wide hallway there and then attaching this to it is the only way to get the door to line up. Now, as you can tell, though, that leaves big gaping holes in the side of it, and you have no way to close them. Trust me, I tried plenty of things, and the game just wouldn't let me. Building the roof was kind of a pain. Don't mind that. I was just trying different designs. That has nothing to do with why I gave up. But yeah. And then not to mention, it's not a very nice box. So, that can go out that far. But obviously then I have to pull it in to bring it here. And then we can go over here, where once again I built wide hallways, which for some reason don't have options for doors in the center of them, probably because they need to attach to these walls. And the wide hallways are exactly two of these walls wide, so they can't put one in the center because you can't get a doorway in the center. But either way, the wide hallway fits nicely, and then you get here. And now I do believe that you can work a little bit to get down there, but, the wide hallways don't have a sloped version of them, which means you then have to switch to a single hallway to continue down into here and build. So yeah, it was just more or less, I don't want to put the time into this. I would much rather be playing something else, and we're never going to see this place again in this playthrough, so everybody can stay here. Everyone can be happy with their beds. And that's pretty much all they get. I did build a little bit out here, but I can't fix lighting or anything here. So unfortunately, the Vault Boy is in the darkness, whereas the Vault Girl isn't. Since this is theoretically the only point of attack, I did build some turrets here to help with defenses. And everything, So, I did do a little... Oh, and I think I built in there, too, if I'm not mistaken, in the security office. Well, yeah, I basically just cleaned it out and put in some lockers because once again, I can't really do much with the lighting in there. So yeah, that's what I did. Or that's all I did, and then I was just like, you know what? I'd rather be doing something else. So we're going to pop over here and just shut off the radio beacon so that people won't show up here anymore. And then we're going to head over to Diamond City and pick up Nick so that we can start the Far Harbor DLC. Now we're going to take Nick into Far Harbor, but we're not going to keep him for very long, basically, because we're going to get another companion once we reach Far Harbor. But we'll take Nick with us because it does give us because he does give us a little bit of extra dialogue in that. Now, technically, if you bring Nick with you for the entire DLC, you actually get quite a bit of extra dialogue. But as I want to get the companion perk,
between Mr. Nakano and Nick.
And the people of the Commonwealth slept soundly, for the greatest monster was gone. It took a lot of guts to do what you did. I know it couldn't have been easy.
It had to be done.
You'll get no argument from me. It's hard to even wrap your head around. A world without the Institute, lurking in the shadows. But that's the life the people of the Commonwealth will get to lead now. All thanks to you.
I didn't do it alone.
Sure. But we both know without you, none of this would have ever been possible. This is a brave new world you've ushered in. But I suppose it'll do.
Nick.
Time to hit the road?
yup.
Let's head out.
Well, all right.
Also curious why there's a Robco Fun here.
Trying to make the best of things in a tough world.
Because I know that I already have that one.
Remind you of anyone? Good luck with the case.
I mean, I guess it doesn't weigh anything, so
Nice.
I'll pick it up anyway.
Battles are won with fists. Wars with wits.
But yeah, that's weird that that's there, because I can guarantee you I've got
Even
that.
good
But
people do crazy things when they're scared.
now there is one extra thing that I want to check here.
The Minutemen.
Still Diamond City Security.
One of these days, I might sign up myself.
Oh, the Minutemen are in town. Okay. So maybe the Minutemen guard outside? Because I know that the Minutemen are supposed to show up as security here, but I don't know if it's like inside, outside, or what. No, it still just says DC or Diamond City Security. I mean, well, whatever. Nope, not what I wanted. Oh, I guess I haven't been there. Duh. Alright. And why do I have two markers? Oh, because right. Alright. So I did look up, I do believe, what will be the 3 parts of this for this week. I was going to bring Kate, but as much as I love Kate, she doesn't agree with a lot of my decisions that I make. So I decided to leave her behind and just bring Nick with me. And, you know, like I said, I want to use the new companion so I can get his perk. So at least for the time being, we're just going to roll with Nick. And I mean, even after we get the perk, I may decide to go and grab Kate and bring her for the rest of the DLC. Because while I might get some dislikes from her, I mean, we're going to be traveling together enough and her disposition is high enough that I don't have to really worry about losing her at any point, you know. I forgot that you should follow the road when you do this. Yeah. One of the few games where follow the road is generally actually really good advice. But I guess it really depends on what part of the region you're traveling through. Good lord, I forgot. You You cannot go that way. Well, I have to go that way because that's where my quest marker is. Good lord. I forgot just how far out of the way this place was. Like, they really don't want you stumbling across this, eh? Because you can start this DLC without talking to Nick or even finding Nick. Apparently, it does get some, if you do the DLC first, before going to find Nick. Apparently, it does come with some rather odd dialogue from his secretary there, where she comments about how good of a PI you are and everything, and then acts like she's never met you before, which she hasn't. But you know.
I know you can't hear this, but I can't think of a better way to say goodbye. You taught me so much, and I won't forget any of it. I'm sorry that we'll never be able to fix up the old clunker we've got sitting in the boathouse. Wherever you are, I hope you're at peace.
Damn
Alright.
it! Come in! I know you're listening on the other end. Where is she? Where is my daughter?
Kenji, please. You've been at this for hours. Stop. You need sleep.
She's...
I hope you don't mind. We let ourselves in.
Nick, thank God. You need to get to work right away. She could be hurt. She could be...
Whoa, slow down. Kenji, was it? Why did you go over the details with me and my partner here?
You brought a partner? Good. The more eyes, the better.
So, what's the story with you and Nick?
Nick didn't tell you? Ran with him on one of his cases a few years back, searching for some sort of lost heirloom. He needed a boat. Things didn't end well. We were double-crossed by the client once we had what he was looking for. I still have some lead lodged into my hip.
Right. Yeah, it's starting to come back to me. Sorry things ended sour.
We got out. That's all that mattered. And now you can return the favor by finding my daughter.
We're here to help. Tell us what happened.
It's all thanks to this damn radio.
Our daughter Kasumi likes to fix things. The radio was her latest project.
Until she made contact with some kidnapper who lured her away from us.
Or maybe she left on her own. She's not a child anymore. Our daughter is 19. She knows how to survive, and she's capable. I think maybe she left because she wanted her own life.
No, she would have told us where she was going. She would have said something. I know my daughter is in danger. I can feel it. Find her, please.
Do you have any idea where she could have gone?
We know she took one of the boats, but that's all. She could be anywhere.
We'll find her. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Her room is upstairs if that helps. And if you had any more questions about her, just ask.
Don't worry, Kenji. We'll get to the bottom of this. Just sit tight.
Mr. Nakano,
Did you have questions? About my daughter?
why did your daughter really leave? Your wife says she left on her own, but you said it was kidnappers.
I know it was kidnappers. Kasumi is a smart girl, but she doesn't know how horrible people can be. Not like me and Rei. Why would she just leave her family with no explanation? Someone tricked her. Got her to leave the safety of home. Every minute we aren't looking for my daughter, her life is in jeopardy.
Anything more you can tell me about Kasumi? The smallest detail could be important.
I don't know what more to say. She's my little girl, and she doesn't know how dangerous this world is. I never should have let her grandfather teach her how to fix these machines.
Her grandfather? He taught her how to fix the radio?
Ever since she was old enough to walk, yes. Her grandfather had an ear for machines. Kasumi picked up the knack. He passed away recently. He used to scavenge the ruins in the south for parts. I kept telling him he was getting too old.
Tell me more about this radio she was fixing.
I've tried to get that damn thing to work over and over again, but there's nothing. I thought she just wanted to strip it for parts or build a toaster out of it or something. like she usually does. Someone made contact with her, and then they took her. God, what kind of twisted psychopath has my daughter?
No more questions right now.
Work quickly, detective.
You know, we already technically fucked up as a detective because you're not supposed to tell the family. We'll find out what happened. We'll find your daughter. Like that would like when he said we'll find your daughter. That's a mistake. What you're supposed to say is we'll do everything in our power. We'll do our best to find out what happened. Stuff like that that leaves the room for you failing at your task because when it comes to being a detective in real life, let alone in post-apocalyptic future with monsters down every street corner, there's always the chance that even if you do everything right, even if you, let's say that there was a kidnapping, even if you find them as fast as you possibly could have, like you took a massive leap of faith right at the beginning of the investigation, doesn't mean you're going to find them alive or at all. So, I mean, you're never supposed to try, like, you're never supposed to give a guarantee.
Mrs. Nakano,
I suppose you have questions about my daughter.
you and your husband don't seem to agree about why your daughter left.
We both want to find her. The world out there isn't a place where you want to be alone. But Kenji still sees her swaddled in diapers. He doesn't see a young woman with her own decisions to make. Maybe because it's more frightening. She wasn't tricked into leaving without telling us. That was her choice. She didn't want us to follow. Why?
I'd like to know more about Kasumi. Might shine a light on where she's gone.
My daughter is strong, focused, careful. That's how I know she's still alive. But why would she leave without telling us? Maybe we... No, never mind. I don't want to waste your time.
Every detail is important, Mrs. Nakano. Don't hold back.
It's just that we've been fighting a lot more. All of us. Ever since Kasumi's grandfather passed away. He was the only one that could really talk to her. Kenji and I don't understand machines, but those two could work together for hours. She started staying in her grandfather's boathouse late into the night. I thought she was just trying to cope with the loss, but now I wonder what she was up to.
Tell me more about this radio your daughter was working on.
I remember Kasumi was very excited about it. I figured she was secretly trying to make contact with Diamond City or another settlement. We're pretty isolated out here. She only has us for company, and Kenji can be overprotective.
Nothing else right now.
All right. Now, as you saw, if you manage to get her questioning, it does lead or it does direct you to the boathouse. But before we go to the boathouse, we are still going to investigate her bedroom, which is up here somewhere. Probably not this one. There's two mattresses next to each other. That can't be great to sleep on as a couple, right? Because, I mean, I guess it depends on how the couple sleeps, but I mean, a lot of the time from what I get... What is that? Oh. You know, they sleep rather close together, which... Oh, good lord. Which, when you have something like that, would obviously put you in between the mattresses, and I could very easily see them, like, sleeping together, and then, like, one of them slightly gets in between the mattresses, and then the weight of them both just, like, slowly pushes the mattresses apart. You know? Anyway,
Looks like
Kasumi's
this is
room.
Kasumi's room. Let's see if she left any clues about where she went.
Well, now, I do believe that we have a couple of things to find here. Kasumi's journal. Radio project update. The range on this thing is just terrible. Nothing but static and the occasional crazy thinking the machine is talking to me. Going to work on boosting the bandwidth coverage. There's a lot of electronics left in Granddad's boathouse with all the nautical navigation tech he was tinkering with. I bet I could find something that could pick up frequencies from further out. Now, where did I leave my key to the safe?
So Kasumi was spending time in her grandfather's old boathouse? Huh. Sounds like we know where we're heading next.
Project log, stream White Room, people are talking about me like I'm not there, or maybe they just don't care. And then there's this, I don't know, jolt, like a spark of electricity to the back of my head, and then everyone turns to look at me. God, I hope I don't have it again tonight. Project log? Radio. Correction? Working radio. I'll finally get some news outside this house. My handle is going to be... let's go with... Ohm's Law. That should confuse the creeps. And if someone actually gets the reference, then we'll at least have circuitry in common.
Alright, now she did mention a key to the boathouse, which I want to say is in this room somewhere. But I don't remember where, unfortunately. So don't remember exactly how well hidden it is. Like, if it's at all well hidden, honestly. But yeah.
Let's take
Cause,
a look around.
yeah, I could have swore there was a key in here somewhere. Because we can't obviously go out and pick the lock on the boathouse. And I think we don't even have to pick the lock because it's a boathouse. I think we can just like hop in the water and like swim out. What is this?
Project log? Lamp. Yep, it's a lamp. Filament plus power equals light. I swear, sometimes I think my parents break these things just to keep me safe.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a key somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's in her bedroom. I don't know where, obviously, because I can't seem to find it, but
Project log? Kitchen mixer. The circuits are still good, but all the mechanical parts are rusted through. Maybe I can...
All right, everyone. I'll be back in a few days. Was there anything else we needed from the city?
Wait, you're going now? No! Wait, Dad, I could come with you.
It is better if I go alone, Kasumi. Do not worry. I have your list.
You don't know what half that list is, Dad. I can help you. Really, I'll be...
I said no. I'm sorry. You're safe here, okay? Just stay put for me.
Okay.
I know you're disappointed, but I won't be long. I love you.
I love you too, Dad. Um, hello? Testing? Project log. Holotape player. Managed to strip out the parts from this thing and make something that's easier to move around. Granddad always said you need to make a record when you start something. You know, in case you have to go back to it. So, I guess I'm going to start doing that. Maybe I should start with an inventory of all the parts I found? Kasumi! Your father needs help with the boat! I'll be right there. Oh, damn. Are you recording that? Project log, radiation king television. Mom says these things actually used to broadcast pictures and sounds back before the war. She also mentioned that some of the ruins of the television studios are still around if you head for the city. Of course, she wasn't too happy when I asked if we could make a trip out there. I'm getting Well, it's not like there's any working signal for this thing to receive. I'm just going to start stripping this thing for parts moving forward.
Oh yeah, that would make the most sense.
Project log, swings. Reattach the chains, a little rusted, and I'm way too old for them now, but it was a nice distraction, I guess. It's funny, you know, I never played on these swings growing up, even when I was little. At least, I don't remember.
I mean, somebody's clearly on them because it went all the way around the top. Alright, boathouse. Which has an open door, so I clearly didn't need a key at all. It also has power lines running to here, which is interesting. Oh, whatever.
Let's keep looking. Need to figure out what Kashumi's story was. Why she left.
Okay, so maybe there's a key in here for us. Oh, there's a technical document. Oh, that says examine, not... Okay. You find a key hidden within the frame, and suddenly we're playing a point-and-click adventure.
Just gotta find whatever it unlocks.
Well, I didn't see anything locked in the house, so odds are it's something in here. Okay. My dear Kasumi, if you ever get locked out of the safe, then the answer is here in the boathouse. Picture where the key is. Love, Granddad. Wow, that's a fairly obvious thing.
Project log? Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but God, where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synths, synthetic people, made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I I'm going to go to meet these synths. I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
So the daughter takes off by boat. But more importantly, there's a colony of synths up near this Far Harbor. We need a way to get there. Let's go talk to Kenji. He knows the waters better than anyone.
So yeah, basically Kasumi got taken in by... I don't want to say a cult, because there is a cult in Far Harbor, but it's not the synths. And I don't really want to use the word ideology because it's not really relevant either. But point is, because when we go and talk to them and whatnot, they try and convince us that we're a synth as well, right? Which is a community theory that's not really accepted by anyone who's spent any kind of time in the game. Because there's multiple things that don't really add up for it to be a synth. Mainly the fact that you can, in fact, turn on the Institute and they don't have a recall code for you to just shut you down when you do it. But basically, they ask her questions, and as a slightly confused young girl, I don't actually know how young she is because I'm pretty sure when we get to her, she's like adult sized. I mean, I'm assuming that she's a teenager of some kind, but how old I don't know. confused teenager who's, at the point in her life where she's questioning things. And, in a world like this, and with a place like the Institute who can create synths like that out, basically, she's a little bit confused. And I don't want to use the word prey, but basically they prey on that to then convince her that she's something she isn't, a synth in this case, and to join them. Now, this is a very common tactic used by cults in that in real life, where they'll find people who have, like, even people that you wouldn't think have that kind of a vulnerability, but they'll find people like that. They'll find like a little vulnerability, which is why you see like a lot of younger, impressionable, like teenagers falling into cults, and then generally like middle-aged people, like midlife crisis type people, uh, and they'll convince them of something. Obviously, it depends on what the cult is. Sometimes, like, they'll convince them that, their way of living is better than the way that they're currently living. Sometimes they'll convince them, something to do with, like, some kind of weird-ass religion. Like, oh, the lobster gods are really why you're feeling depressed or something, I don't actually know of any lobster god cults, but, I figured that was a safe bet because I don't know that. But yeah, and basically a lot of the time it's just people looking like they don't feel like they fit in with their community. They don't fit in with what's expected of them, or what they think is expected of them, and they'll fall into the trap of, oh, these are the people that will accept me for who I am. These are the people who will help me realize my true self. Shit like that. And yeah, it's just not good, basically.
Have you finished your investigation? Did you find anything?
I think I know where Kasumi went. A place called Far Harbor.
She went that far up north? God, that explains why she took the boat. There's no time to waste. You have to go after her.
Wait, did you find out why she left, Detective? Who she was speaking to?
What does it matter?
Because I know my daughter, and if she didn't tell us where she went, then she had a reason. Don't you want to know if she wants to be found?
You're right, Detective. Did you find any clue to why Kasumi left home?
I need to ask you an important question. Are you sure your daughter is human?
What kind of question is that? Why are you asking?
Your daughter made contact with a group of synths. She thinks she's one of them.
What? That's crazy.
She's not a synth. She's our daughter. We raised her. I gave birth to her. She's flesh and blood, not a synthetic.
It doesn't matter if your daughter is a synth, Mrs. Nakano. She's still a person who needs help.
But my daughter isn't a synth.
This is what I was afraid of. Someone twisting my daughter's mind. You have to get to Far Harbor. Take my ship on the dock. It has a guidance system, a final gift from my father. And it's built for distance.
I'll get to the bottom of this, Kenji.
Thank you. I know you haven't asked for a payment, and we can't offer much. But here, please take it. I insist. For expenses, if nothing else.
I know it'll be hard waiting for word, but try to carry on like normal. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Fine, Kasumi. Please.
Okay, so as you saw there, we also just got 2 new objectives, which is to tell the Brotherhood about the Synth Refuge and to tell the Railroad about the Synth Refuge. Now, with that, probably under miscellaneous, yeah. So if you tell the Brotherhood about the Synth Refuge, then they will send, I do believe, a team out to just kill everyone that's there. And if you were sided with the Institute...
Where are all the sense got?
Hey, Dez is looking for you.
Okay. And if you side with the Institute, they have a similar quest when you do this. That'll let you do it. But if you have the Railroad on your
You're
side...
a wanderer, yeah? I've been looking for you. Name's Boxer.
Boss called me in on account of some rumors making their way through the Commonwealth. There's word that there's some kind of colony of synths way up the coast, all on their own. You heard anything like that?
I'm following a lead on a place called Far Harbor.
Never heard of it. Doesn't mean it's not connected, though. If you're already looking into it, don't let me stop you. Just let me know if you find anything, okay?
Okay. And then what the hell does Des want, though?
With the Institute dealt with, we're reevaluating our ongoing operations. And the LNL gang is currently our
Oh,
single
right.
great-
Alright. Now, we're not going to tell the Brotherhood about it for obvious reasons. I do believe, like, well, I mean, we could technically go and tell them about it right now. But I do believe we will have the option afterwards, like after we actually make it to the colony, to then tell them both about it. And then that's when, the Brotherhood destroys it. The Institute sends in, I do believe, coursers effectively destroying it. I think they send them in to retrieve all of their property. And then if you tell the Railroad about it, once we go back, they just, I think Boxer herself maybe, or at least somebody from the Railroad just goes up there and tries to make a deal with them, get connected so that, because it's a colony of synths, the Railroad helps synths. This should be great, right? And it is, I guess. I mean, it doesn't, as far as I remember, it doesn't turn bad anyway. I don't even remember or know who you talked to in the Brotherhood for, because I've never done that. To be fair, I don't think I've ever told the Railroad about it either, but... Oh yeah, so the boat will auto-drive for us. That's what that weird thing attached to the wheel is.